We are at 565 East Church Street, right?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. And this is Jennifer, and she's the owner. It's called the Artist
Angle Gallery.
The Artist Angle Gallery. You are a framer.
I am.
You've been a framer for a long time. We were just talking about this.
Probably over 20 years now.
Why framing?
It's definitely turned into a passion. So I started out as a general manager for Joann's.
Okay.
Probably now 30 years ago.
Wow.
And it was kind of by chance that I ended up in it. So when Joann's I was a general manager for the small location on Route 40.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was taken over and it became a large superstore. And I kind of got...
Yeah, where was it before it is where it is now?
It was there.
It
was
still
smaller.
small. So they only
smaller.
had a smaller footprint.
Yeah,
There
and
were
MJ Designs was right next to it, remember?
Yes.
And Walter Rung was there, and I was the GM of the small store, and they took that space. And so just by need, I actually became the manager of the framing department, and at that time I knew absolutely nothing about framing, nothing. And I was running a group of people that really didn't know anything about framing. And it just kind of, we did really well. We became something there. And then,
I took all my pictures there.
Yeah, it was a long time, and we had a really good thing for a long time, which I'm sorry to see they're not open anymore.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with it there.
Yeah.
So I started out more on the business side of it, just doing, like, running the department.
Yeah.
And then I became passionate about what it is.
Yeah.
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 So,
And so what is it about framing that like really, excites you? Because really a frame can make or break an image, right?
correct.
It really can add so much to a piece of artwork, or even maybe detract, and which you never want to do. But
I love the design aspect of it.
Okay.
So that's my favorite.
Okay.
There's a lot to building it and constructing it, but I like the design element.
Okay.
And the design options are endless.
yeah,
So
I mean, my gosh, yes, seriously.
I would like to add more, but I carry probably eight or nine vendors, all kinds of matting, decorator matting, all kinds of things, but I feel like there could be a whole lot more. And the options are endless.
Yeah.
So, and price points are endless. So
Yeah.
we can deal with clients that want a very, very simple, just a simple piece, and then we can go all the way up to museum, conservation, framing wedding gowns and uniforms and that kind of thing.
Wow.
So, yep.
What's the coolest project you've had? Do you have one?
I do like framing uniforms. I would love to get into doing a lot more military.
Okay.
I've done a few uniforms. We just got some interest in a wedding gown. So
How does that work? I can't even.
So I think too, we've been doing some more involved classes on conservation and preservation framing. So that's a whole thing all in itself.
Wow.
So that's a whole nother interest
Yeah.
that gets into more beyond just slapping something in a frame.
Right.
So you're looking
more
into-
beyond just what's in your house.
More
Yeah, this
beyond
is
just
like,
a decorator aspect of things. Now we're starting to get into more preservation and conservation of things.
That's
and we're
amazing.
actually getting a lot more of that. There's definitely a need.
Oh yeah.
So taking a family heirloom that you want to preserve forever is
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah,
It is.
and so I'm assuming with that it comes with the type of not only just framing, but the glass stuff that happens would be
All the
sealed and
components.
all of that.
All the
Wow,
components.
that's really cool.
So it's
actually.
very cool.
Yeah.
We've been doing, actually, the coolest thing I've done recently is we are finishing up installation of the Visitation Academy.
Oh, exciting.
So that was probably the largest project we've done and the most extensive. So
Wow.
that ended up being an amazing project. We worked with the designers out of California and designed all the pieces that went in there. It was based on photos of the school for the girls that were there prior. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
It was
'cause
fun.
You become a part of history, right?
Yeah.
Because these things live on way beyond, and you know,
way beyond
yeah.
us. And the photos are way beyond, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
way-
So it's
yeah.
we're doing a lot of work now with a lot of heirloom older pieces that were they're digging out, and it's their
Yeah.
like people pass on. Pieces have been like from parents or grandparents,
Yeah.
old paintings. We're getting a lot that we're renewing.
Yeah.
So people can actually hang them again.
Revitalize and
Revitalizing
bringing
them,
them
preserving
to
them. So that's a
current.
huge part of what we're doing right
Yeah.
now. So I really like that.
So, what do you recommend? So, if somebody's got, let's just say, I have a painting that was at my grandparents' house, and you know, do you bring it in here, and then you recommend how we can change it up a little bit with the framing, or keep it kind of within its genre of what it should be? How does that work?
Well, actually, I'm working on a couple pieces right now. It depends on the like sometimes these are damaged. Sometimes people bring in things that are 100 years old.
Right.
We usually take them apart, figure out what the damage level is, if there is any. A lot of times the client will have an idea of they're either trying to match something, make
Yeah.
it fit into their home, or a lot of times they try to keep
The
the
originality,
originality
as much
of the
thought,
piece itself. So
Yeah.
we kind of start there with
Okay.
taking things apart, take images of the piece. Sometimes there's writing on the back, you know, that's like
Yeah.
a little note or some kind of information about the piece. And then we work with them and figure out
Yeah.
what works for them. And it's really nice to renew old things.
Oh.
And they,
Yeah.
you know, this is my grandmother's painting from
Right.
like 150
Yeah.
years ago. And they walk out and they can put it on their wall,
Yeah.
and it's preserved forever now.
Yeah.
If they choose to do that.
Yeah.
So our options now are so much more
Yeah.
than before. So
Yeah, just the quality of
just
materials
the quality
available.
of materials,
Yeah.
the nice glass that we have. The things we're doing now will definitely last
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
and they'll be good.
That's
good hand-me-down.
awesome.
So we
what do
a
you
lot of that.
recommend for people who have stuff that needs to be framed? Like, what is your, like, you know, because I think a lot of us probably just slap on those cheap frames sometimes, and, you know, it just doesn't add much to the piece.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, what is your recommendation for people with
So
framing?
if I get a call
Yeah.
for somebody like that, usually what I do, I can take walk-ins or I do consultations. So it
Okay.
depends on how many pieces. Sometimes they
Yeah.
have a group of things.
Yeah.
But by the way, I don't mind recommending like a ready-made frame for somebody.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're doing.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so a lot of times we'll figure out budget.
Yeah.
Where it's going is a
Yeah.
huge thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a huge thing. Where it's going, and what their budget is, what their colors are. We try to work with the room, which, by the way, I'm going to be bringing in an interior designer to work with us. That's a direction that we're going in. So
Nice.
that's a big thing. I think people today are big into placing things into a specific environment.
Right.
Okay, so at that point, when they come in, we'll decide all of those things. Okay, they'll bring in the work. We'll meet together, look at whether it's a single piece or a group of pieces, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And then our choices are kind of endless as
Yeah.
far as budget goes.
Yeah.
So we try to figure out
Yeah.
what they need. But I have people that want to match a couch.
Yeah.
Or they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can go all over the board. It's like,
Yeah, I
have
bet.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
So it's nice.
How can people reach out to you? What's the easiest way? Is it online or?
we have a website
Mm-hmm.
online. Anytime a phone call. We do
Okay.
actually meet a lot of people. Mark and I do.
Yeah.
We do some cross-referencing there. A lot of our business is referral.
Yeah.
But I do have a website. We have been recommended through Find It Frederick. A lot of people are finding us on Google.
Okay.
Just custom framing
Yeah.
and Frederick. Our reviews are good.
Awesome.
In contrast to some of the other things the other framers are doing, we do oversized work, which a lot of them are not doing. So we do oversized work, and we'll do the more complicated things,
Yeah.
the more elaborate pieces.
Yeah.
So that's really nice too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's great.
Anytime I have appointments all week. I'm here 9 to 6 every day. Walk-ins are great.
Yeah.
And And I will recommend if they have a large group of pieces that would take
Yeah.
a little more time.
Sure.
If it's a more elaborate project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So-
Well, this is Jennifer, and she is located right inside Imagination Center on East Church Street. If you have pieces you want to get framed or matted, or maybe you have maybe even some of your kids' artwork that you want it to look nice, she can take care of you. Small jobs to huge jobs. I think that is amazing, and
Thank
I can't
you.
wait to see what's over at the visitation. I think that
It's going to be beautiful.
yeah.
I think the opening is the end of the month.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be
gorgeous.
great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got her website on screen. Check her out, give her a call, or just stop by and see her, and she'll take good care of you.